Hello,
Hi.
my name's Crystal. I work with the child resources here in Sudbury. I'm a social worker and I've been working there for about 5 years. I'm here because your mother had some concerns about your schooling and you're kind of struggling in school. So I'm here to kind of try and identify what the cause might be there. But first, before we begin, I would like to go over our policies and procedures where I work. I had gone over these with your mother and filled out some forms, got some signatures, just because you're a little under the age of being able to sign your own papers. But I have to inform you that should anything come up between our discussion, our talking, that might indicate that either you are in danger or maybe one of your friends might be in danger, that I have a duty to report that to my employers. And if you're at risk, I also have the duty to report it to your mother. And I just wanted to inform you of that. But aside from that, anything else that we share here is between you and me. Doesn't go anywhere else. So yeah. So with that being said, I'll give you a chance to introduce yourself. I know your name is Alea because I talked to your mother. But tell me a little bit more about yourself, what you like to do, what you do in your spare time, things like that.
Okay. Well, my name's Alea. I'm 11. I'm a lone child. I don't have any siblings or anything. I'm in grade 6. I'm really into music.
Excellent.
I like Katy Perry. I like her music.
Oh, Katy Perry.
Yeah. And I really, really love to jump. Other things that I want to do is learn more about my background.
Your background, like your cultural?
Yeah.
Cultural? That sounds, my daughter's really into Katy Perry as well. So I know a couple of her songs off by heart and can sing them word for word, but she kind of finds it a little embarrassing, especially if we're out and about and I bust out singing there. But yeah, and it's, drumming is good, that's very good. It soothes. I drum myself, so I know it's calming.
Yeah.
You're stressed out to sing those songs and sing them from your belly. So that's good. That's really good. The reason your mother had asked me here, and I had mentioned it earlier, is you're having a little struggle with school, in school. Schoolwork mainly, eh? She's noticed your report cards are kind of dropping, your grades. So maybe you can tell me a little bit more about that. Do you find the work really tough, or maybe you're having some issues at school with some of the friends? So what's going on at school?
Well, it's hard to concentrate and focus, mainly on math, reading and writing, and when it's independent work, because that's when I think and I worry about my dad.
Okay.
He's addicted to alcohol and drinking.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right. So it's not actually because you find the work hard, or not because anybody's being mean to you at school. It's you're worried about your dad. I know with talking to your mother before you came home off the bus, she had mentioned some information about your dad, not in detail because I'm here for you, not for Dad. And had mentioned that that was why you two had moved away from Dad's, was because of his drinking. So I know a little tiny bit about him, but I'd like to know, when's the last time you got to see Dad?
The last time got to see or I saw him.
Like, visit. Do you visit him often?
No.
Not really, eh? Not as much as you'd like?
No. And the last time I saw him was about 3 months ago.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
And how did that visit go? Did it go well?
It went well the first day.
Okay.
Well, when my mom, she decided to go down.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she's busy with school, and she thought it would be great to be not near the city.
Mm-hmm.
And when we were at my aunt's house, well, I like to call her my grandma because my grandma's not there anymore.
Yeah.
And she thought it would be good to go see my dad, and that's when he was sober the first day.
Okay.
So it was good. We got to watch a movie, chill out.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, talk. And my mom picked me up. We went home, went to bed. And when we got up in the morning, we were dressed. We had breakfast. It was around noon.
Mm-hmm.
She said, well, you should go to your dad's house. But she didn't know he was sober. He was drinking.
All right.
And she dropped me off. She was busy that day. She had to do some pickups and drop-offs and papers. And my dad was drinking and, he was drunk. So when I answered the door, he didn't smell good at all.
Okay.
And I can hear some people downstairs.
Mm-hmm.
There's music playing downstairs, not too loud.
Mm-hmm.
And he answered the door and said, who is it? I'm like, it's your daughter, Alea?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, oh, it's like, come in. I'm like, no, because I'm like, you're drinking? I'm like, well, I'm just gonna take a walk, because I didn't,
Yeah.
he's drinking and he's a little bit shocked. Like, okay, what do I do?
Yeah.
And I went to my aunt's house. She lives across the street. She was on my dad's side.
Okay.
She doesn't drink at all. She was very nice. And I called my mom. I asked her to pick me up, and I told her that my dad was drinking, and you should have called him first before I came.
Yeah.
So it was a hard time.
Okay. Well, you did good by leaving and going to your aunt's house and calling your mom. And given that, yeah, mom should have called to see if dad was okay enough to visit you, eh? But you did really well in going across the street to your aunt's to make that call. So, with your dad's drinking, and there's a lot of worry there on your part, which is making concentrating at school difficult for you.
Yeah.
So what is it about dad that is on your mind? Give me an example of a day at school where the thought of your dad comes into your mind. What are you doing? Like, how does it come up?
I'm not sure how it comes up, but it's independent work.
Uh-huh.
It's a little bit boring.
Oh, it's boring work.
So it just comes up, and like I think about him because I just live with my mom, and like
Okay.
it's just hard to concentrate and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when schoolwork's not interesting, I'm kind of interested in knowing if this happens at home too. Like, if you say independent work is boring, and sometimes it is, because I remember at school, sometimes if you're not interested in a subject, your mind kind of wanders off.
Yeah.
So does that happen at home as well? Do you find you thinking about dad at home as well?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Sometimes I want to talk to my mom, but I don't want her to, get mad. Well, she doesn't get mad often, but she's really stressed.
Yeah.
That she has schoolwork on her mind. It's always work. She never has time, mostly for me.
Okay.
So I can talk to her, but we just never had the chance to. When we were living with Dad, I can talk to her, and that's when, around the time when we were moving around, and I kept on asking her questions.
Yeah. So mom's super busy with school and has no time for a layup. All right. And that happens. I got two little ones at home. Well, they're not little anymore, but they're still little to me. And it's hard to make time for family when you're going to school.
Yeah.
And you're trying to go to school to make life better. So I can understand how mom feels with her schoolwork. But it's also important to make time for just you and mom too, to do things together, right?
Just to relax.
When's the last time you and mom actually had gone out, and whether it be supper or a movie or just even gone for a walk?
Well, when me and my mom, and then, me and my mom, sorry, I can't remember this. My mom and my dad, were struggling at the time. That's when they got divorced.
Okay.
I don't think I mentioned that, but yeah, they're divorced.
Okay.
And after that, she wasn't going to school when she was with him.
Okay.
So when we were going around house to house, moving around, it was mostly apartments. We never got the house. It was always attachment together. And
so it's kind of hard to play outside and do stuff together type thing?
Yeah, but when my mom, before, it must have been about 2 months before I went to school, we were doing a lot of just me and her things. It was a little bit boring.
Yeah.
Because my dad wasn't around. Because when my dad's around, it's just not excitement, but it's like...
There's always something going on.
Yeah.
Okay. So, with mom going to school, she don't really have time for Leia. Busy with school. So here's what I'm kind of thinking. And I don't much, in my line of work, sit and try and to sit for like an hour and just talk about what's bothering you type thing. I like to get out and do things, whether it be go bowling or something like that. Hit up a movie, go for a ride, hang out at the beach type thing. And with it being summertime now, I think we can probably try and get mom to get out and do things. And you had mentioned you really enjoy drumming.
Yeah.
And that's, they have, at the Friendship Center here in Sudbury, I don't know if you're aware of it, but they have weekly drum groups for women and girls. Now, I don't know if mom might be interested in taking 2 or 3 hours away from her studies to get out and do that. I know that would be good for mom and good for you as well. And sometimes I even go too if I'm not too busy, and I take my daughter along. It hasn't been too often lately because it's been pretty busy with me too. But we try and do it at home too. We do it a lot. And sometimes you need to do that. So I'm wondering if we might be able to get mom on board with that. And they have transportation there. I understand mom doesn't have a vehicle, right? You guys take the bus a lot?
Yeah.
So, and it would be a nice way to get out and do things together again with mom. Does that sound like a good idea?
Yeah.
All right. We'll see if we can get her on board. So we'll set that up. And you had also mentioned you'd really like to get to know more about your culture.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing Mom doesn't do a lot of that sort of stuff. Does Mom follow the Aboriginal culture?
She would like to,
Yeah.
but, you know, she's busy in school.
She's busy.
No, she doesn't.
No way. We have elders as well at the Friendship Center. There's also monthly sweats. Have you ever been in a sweat lodge?
Probably one time.
One time?
I can't remember.
No, you can't,
No.
eh? All right. Well, we'll first begin by setting you up to meet an elder there. And I had heard you mention earlier that you don't have grandparents, but you kind of see your aunt as your grandma.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, our elders are very kind, very welcoming. And sometimes I even go and talk to them when I need somebody to talk to. So we can line you up and set you up an appointment with them. Again, I'll go over this with your mom and make sure the scheduling is okay. And she has classes on the Tuesday nights when they have the drumming. Then maybe we might be able to access another drum group. I know Chicago McQueen offers drum groups as well. So we'll definitely look into that. And the elder can kind of help you, work on and find that balance and that sort of things, because I would like to put you in that direction because that's somewhere you're interested in and you want to learn more about. I'm not too familiar with the culture, and am learning too, so it's never too late to learn. So we will definitely look into that. So, and I'm wondering, with this, and I've taken some notes. You had mentioned that you don't get to do much things. You kind of go to school, come home, do it again the next day type thing.
Yeah.
Kind of boring, eh? And you get bored easy.
Very.
Okay, so I'm wondering if next week we can schedule an appointment. I'll come and pick you up here when you get off the bus. And we'll go out, maybe go for supper, go for coffee. Do you drink coffee?
No.
No way. All right. Well, we'll definitely go for supper, get out of the house. And it's easier that way. It's not so, when you're sitting in the office, I don't like to meet my kids in the office because it's so, I just go there to type up papers and stuff. So definitely, next week, I will come and pick you up, and we'll get out of the house, go for a drive, chill for the night. Sounds fun?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds fun for me too. Then it's not like really work, eh?
Yeah.
And I get to have fun too. All right. Okay. So we'll meet again next Wednesday, and hopefully, because the drum group is Tuesday night, so I'll set that up and have a ride come and pick you and Mom up. I'll discuss that with her after we're done talking here, and pick you guys up. And I want you to tell me all about how it was and how much fun you had. And so, yeah, I'll see you next Wednesday after school. And it was really nice meeting you, Alea.